first time here, what we like to do, we like to talk about all things yarn and crochet related and have a sip of wine. I have my big, huge, tacky box of wine right here that I like to drink every Saturday. So anytime my wine runs out, I have something to fill up. So today we are going to be looking at 10 granny squares with a flower motif. The thing that I love about granny squares, you can basically make them into anything. You can make them into hats, scarves, tops, even slippers. So that's great. And if you don't want to hear me talk during this whole live stream, I have all the patterns linked down in the description box below. So don't worry about me talking. So I am going to hop into the chat and see how everybody's doing and see who's watching right now. All right, is my chat going live? Here we go. We have Leanne. Welcome back. You have your little granny square icon. All right. My things aren't coming up. There we go. Okay, now here we go. Ah, Basil. You're my new fave. Welcome back. You were like my co-host the other week. You say we asked for grannies and you sure did deliver. I like number 9 the best so far, I think. Can't wait to try them out. Don't worry, we're going to get into all of these granny squares. So before we start, if you would ever like to help support this channel so I can continue to make live streams like this and patterns, you can always click that little dollar sign that you see in the comment box. And when you do, that's how you help support with Super Chat. When you do that, the lights will go off, the bubbles will blow, and you'll get to spin the wheel of pattern. So, like I say every week, let's see if I have my cables all connected to see if all the bells and whistles go off. All right. Oh, we see some other people just hopped in. Fergie, welcome back, Fave. Micah, how you doing? I'll say one more. And Jeanette, hello, Alicia and everyone. I'm thrilled to catch the live. Been making lots of your slippers for Christmas. Thanks. You're welcome. If anybody knows me, I am like the crochet pattern slipper queen. I love making small projects. I want something quick, something I can be satisfied with instantly. All right. So, okay, we're going to hop into these 10 granny square flower motif patterns. But before I do, I always like to ask you guys a questions so we can talk back and forth and get to know each other. I got my questions over here. Let me take my drink so I can get ready. All right. Question for you. How big is your yarn stash? But before you comment in the comment box, make sure you put question marks in front of it so I can bring it to the front so we can all talk about it together. So, how big is your yarn stash? And guys, for fair warning, my reading's going to be a little bit bad this week. I'm a little nasally, so you might hear me sound like this a little bit. So, sorry about that. All right. Pattern number 1. This is called the Orla Love Square. A simple 4-petal flower adorns the center of this crochet granny square. The sweet simplicity makes the design well suited to a charming baby blanket or minimalist sweater. Whatever you decide, you can make with it. It definitely will be adorable. The designer of this pattern is P.S. I Crochet. Are there any other pictures of this? There we go. Oh, even comes with a video tutorial. I like video tutorials. Maybe because I'm a little bit biased because I'm a YouTuber myself. And coming in at number 2 is the Sunburst Granny Square. Cluster and puff stitches stand in for the flower petals in this texture-tastic granny square. These type of granny squares are very popular in crochet world right now, and it's no secret why. The designer of this pattern is Crochet Me Lovely. Let's take a couple look at all these patterns. Okay, different color combinations. Let me scroll down so you can see a little bit better. See, I can see this on a granny square jacket, like the patchwork granny squares. Those are cute. All right, back to me. All right, the question. Hold on, hold on? Did I share my screen when I did that? I wasn't sure. Let's see. I think I did. Okay, the question that I asked: how big is your yarn stash? Let's see. Okay, Elena says, I have a 5x5 cubicle that's overflowing with yarn. You know what? That's not too bad. Oh, I should have went first. How big is my yarn stash? Okay, we have yarn over here. We have yarn over there. My daughter's in college right now, so there is yarn in her bedroom. I have yarn in some totes downstairs, and I think I have just a little bit of garbage bags of yarn upstairs. I got rid of a lot. I gave a lot away to my daughter's friend who crochets in school. So I have a big yarn stash. I should have linked it down in description box. After this, I have a whole video that explains my yarn hoarding. I take you through the whole tour of my craft room and all my yarn stash. Oh, Keith says more than 60 skeins. I think know what? Maybe because I'm such a yarn junkie, I don't think that's that much. I'm pretty crazy with my yarn. It's my decor now. Happiness is homemade, says. It's big enough that I know when I come home with more yarn, my husband gives me the look. That's another question I'm going to be asking next, and I hope you answer it. But we'll hold on for that one. Chunky junky. Way too much to count, to be honest. Well over 300 skeins. Okay, 300 skeins. You're hopping into the no, you're in. You're in the nut category. 100, you're like medium nut. 300, you're nut. I know I have more than 300. I'm not even going to count. Ooh. Sadie says, my yarn stash is so big that when I go to Walmart, I walk to the yarn aisle and say, I don't have any more yarn. See, that I almost do something like that. When I go to the store and I need yarn, it's because I need black yarn. Do you see any black yarn over there? I have to go to yarn store and get black yarn. And when I'm there, I see another pretty yarn. I'm like, I got what I needed, but this is pretty too. So it's I need one, gain five. Let me scroll down and give some other people a chance to comment, and then we'll hop right back into this roundup. And remember, guys, if you're watching this on a replay and you're wondering where the patterns are, don't listen to me talk. They're all linked down in the description box below. All of them are free. Leanne says, what is large? For me, it feels huge. My overall leftover yarn is slim, but just a lot of yarns for a future project. I think I could theoretically go without buying yarn for 2 years or so. I know what you mean when you said the leftover yarn. Like over in this side, it's leftover yarn. It's like one skein or half a skein, and I'm not going to throw it away. So that's where the accumulation can happen. And I'll do one more. Lisa L. My stash is in 3 medium-sized boxes from IKEA, and I work very hard not to go beyond those 3 boxes. Cheers to you. I'm proud of you. I'm glad my family doesn't mind that I turned my whole living room into this craziness. All right, let's hop back into this pattern roundup. But once again, I'm going to ask you a question. All right. I guess this is kind of the same question all over again. I'm asking, where did you store your yarn? So we're going to scratch that. You guys already told me where you store your yarn. So, oh, what is the oldest skein of yarn that you have? I'm not talking about yarn that you got from the thrift store that's super old. I'm talking about a skein of yarn that you bought at the store and you had some intentions to use, but for some reason it's been sitting on the shelf for years unused. How old is your oldest skein of yarn? Before you comment, make sure you put question marks in front of it so we can bring it all to the front. All right, let's hop back into this roundup. And we are on pattern number 3. This is called the Dahlia Granny Square. If you prefer your florals to be more on the exotic side, then you're going to love this Dahlia Crochet Granny Square. The pretty petals are made from crocodile stitches. I love the 3-dimensional effect that adds to this piece. The designer of this pattern is Danica Lane. It's a pretty name. Let's take a closer look at these pictures and the color variations. Look how crazy how this one could look summery and this one has more of like a fall look. I like this color combination would be on an Afghan, not the complete flower afghan, but maybe like sporadic pieces of this little motif throughout. I'm not a big fan of that color, but I am a big fan of this stitch. All right, let's go into pattern number 4. This is called the 8-petal flower granny square. 8 is the magic number for these pretty squares. I like the design, excuse me, I like that the designer shows 2 color options here. I'm not really sure which version I prefer best. They both are so adorable. My favorite part is the rounds, how the green yarn, it kind of looks like leaves and thorns. All right, this is what I was talking about right here. How did this round where you have the green yarn, it has gives an accent like there's the flowers in a cushion of, I don't know, leaves or on a bush or something. I think that's real cute. I like that. All right. Which pattern are we at now? Hold on. Did we do this one? All right. This is pattern number 5, the Dainty Daisy Granny Square. Classic white and yellow daisies adorn the center of these baby blue granny squares. I can't imagine anything cuter for a crochet baby blanket. The best part is that they're fun and fast to make since they're on the smaller side. The designer of this pattern is Just Be Crafty. Is this made in Caron Simply Soft? I have a love-hate relationship with Caron Simply Soft. I love the way the yarn looks. It's beautiful. I hate the way it crochets because it splits a lot, but I just love a drape. I made one baby blanket in my life, not in my life, but using the Caron Simply Soft. And it was just, I didn't want to give the baby blanket away. It was just so soft against the skin and it draped so nicely. Loved it. So, the question that I asked, what is your oldest skein of yarn? And when I said the oldest skein of yarn, I'm not talking about thrifted yarn that you had forever. I'm talking about yarn that you bought new and you just have not used. So I guess let me take a sip. I'll go first. One of the oldest, this basket right here, you can tell it's old. It got like crud and lint and whatever all through it. Years ago, I've told the story many times before, but I won't tell it again. I went to this thrift place. I bought yarn for 50 cents a skein. And I bought a whole, I think somebody did the math for me, 300 skeins of yarn for like 130 something dollars. But these were like the yarns I just picked up. I was like in one of those game shows where the money's floating all around the room and you're just grabbing and not looking. That's how I was putting yarn into my bag. It was 50 cents and there was like women all around me like, ah. So I'm just sitting there putting whatever in my bag, not looking. When I get home, I had a lot of this like, where can I put this bag? Ooh, almost dropped my wine. This type of yarn, like, I don't know what to do with this. So this was maybe 5 years old, that whole basket. This beautiful yarn, I don't know why. It's nothing like spectacular about it. This yarn, art yarn from, I don't even, where did I get this from? Maybe Premier Yarn? This is maybe 3 years old. I don't know why I haven't used it. I think I have like 5 skeins of this someplace. I might make a pattern, maybe one day. And this yarn is maybe 5 years old. I don't know why I bought it. This like angel, what's it called? Angel hair yarn. It's like impossible to, you can crochet with it, but once you go to frog it, it's curtains. So I've always like, I don't want to practice a pattern on it. So that's my old yarn. So let's hop back into the comments. Oh, and I always say this. Remember, guys, if you would like to help support through Super Chat, when you do, lights and bubbles will go off and we'll spin the wheel of patterns. So let's see what you guys have to say. Hello, Kathy. My oldest is from 1972. My stash takes up one whole stuffed closet in my room and a fourth of my 10 by 10 rented shed, sorted by size and color. My leftovers fill the outside of a double bed. To if anybody's in here is just a casual crocheter or casual yarn buyer, that might sound insane. But when you said you have a shed that's organized by color, do you just walk into your shed and just look around and like, this is beautiful. I do that with my yarn stash over here. We got a super chat. See, okay, we got, am I pointing right? There's lights, there's bubbles, and who, thank you so much, Keith, for super chatting. For you, you get a cheers. Every time somebody super chats, I raise my glass. And you get to spin the wheel of patterns. Here we go. Scroll down a little bit. All right, let's give you a spin. You win the crochet beret. Let me show you what that one is. I believe it's up top right here. In order for you to receive your pattern, you will have to email me at littlejohnyarns@gmail.com. That link will be down in the description box for my email because who remembers that? So don't mind me while I get up and turn off these bubbles and stuff. Ugh. Thank you so, ooh, Bubbles. Thank you so much for donating. Here we go. So 1972, man. Oh, we were talking about your beautiful shed of yarn. Love it. Let's see. Elena. She says, I only started yarn crafts a little more than a year ago, but my dad gave me really old yarn that was given to him by his mom, Highland wool yarn. So I have a bunch of really old scratchy wool yarn. The thing about old yarn, I still can't give it away. It's weird. When I do give yarn away, I don't like to give it to Goodwill. I find a person to give it to because it's like giving away a piece of my soul. So keep, go ahead. Go for it. You might have to go behind me and crawl over top of the couch. My son's getting snacked for Halloween candy, but the way I have this camera rigged up, my living room is cornered, so he has to climb over my couch to get to the Halloween candy. So you'll see him climbing back again in a second. All right. Sarah says, I bought skeins I love from Walmart in November 2020 to teach myself how to crochet while in the hospital with a broken ankle. Ooh, ouch. But I have only made one project with that yarn. So I've got a few left over. It happens. Understand. Hmm. Hmm. Next one. I think, oh, Leanne says, I think 8-ish years is Sapeti yarn, the recycled t-shirt yarn, and I haven't found a good use for it yet. Know what? I think I do have some. It was still called fettuccine yarn. They changed the name of the yarn since. Oh, that might be at least 3 or 4 years old that I have. Mm. We have another winner. Donna says, I have gold yarn for a scarf that I have had for the last 15 years. So we have two winners. We got somebody with some yarn from 1972 bought and 15 years ago. But 1972, that wins. Butter Roll Boutique. I love that. My oldest yarn is about 3 years old. It's some scrubby yarn that haven't gotten around to using yet. It happens. Oh, we got another good one. 1976. And the skein I learned to crochet with, variegated red, white, green, glittery yarn. I think that was one of the yarns I first learned. It wasn't the glitter yarn. I remember it was the Red Heart Super Saver Christmas yarn because I thought it was so ugly, but that's the one my grandma gave me to practice on, and it wasn't Christmas. That's why I thought it was ugly. I'm like, Grandma, can I use the nice pretty yarn? She's like, mm-mm, use this Christmas yarn. Nobody's using that right now. Hey, Recollected Goods, 25 years, Icelandic wool gifted to me. That's not bad. It's probably a gorgeous yarn. So maybe is it an art piece in your home? And I would like to say everything back here is at least 4 years old. This yarn has been sitting on this shelf. It's more of a decoration now than use. My children point out There is one yarn that's over there that's perfectly square. It's been on the shelf for so long. It is like perfectly square. I'm not going to use it. Bought it on sale from one of those liquidation yarn websites. I got 100 skeins of yarn for like 40 something dollars. Unfortunately, that website went out of business. I was so mad because I just discovered it that year, made 2 orders, and website shut down. All right, last one, and we'll hop back into this pattern roundup. And remember, guys, all these free patterns, they're all free, are linked down in the description box below. And my fave, Knit and Crochet Tiger, says currently my oldest skein of yarn is 3 years old. All right, so let's hop back into this roundup. Where are we? We did that one. We did that one. And we are on this one. Number 6. This is called the Lady Rose Granny Square. Here's another one of our crochet granny square flowers that has 3 dimensions. These beautiful roses are bursting off the background. What a beautiful addition to a crochet bedspread or a table runner. Has anybody done it? I don't know. Would this be tacky? I don't know. I'm horrible with colors, but I would like this on the center of a bucket hat. Not all of them going around, but maybe flat flowers and on the front, just a boop, 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 boop. Or no, purse. I would like it on a purse. Let's see what they got in here. I'm not too much of a fan of it on a blanket. This, I like the flowers more spread apart. You see how you have other granny squares mixed through with the 3D granny square? This is more my liking right here. Ooh, that looks like a completely different flower. Oh my goodness. Okay, I really like that one. Let's move on to the very next pattern. Oh, did I ask you guys a question? I didn't. Forgive me. I forgot to ask you a question. Let's get to the question now. What did I write down? What is the most money you spent on yarn at one time? Before you comment, remember, make sure you put question marks in front of it. What is the most amount of money you spent on yarn at one time? All right, now we'll hop back into the roundup. So that was your question. The next pattern is the Sunset Flower Granny Square. Maybe you prefer a monochrome color scheme for your crochet granny square. These sunset flower granny squares sure do look pretty in pink. Despite only using one color, you can clearly see the beautiful flower motif in the center of each flower. The designer of this pattern is Christine's Crochet. I would make something like a shawl with this pattern right here. That's beautiful. I don't know for a blanket. For me, it's a little bit too holy. Definitely for a shawl. That is gorgeous. All right. So sorry I was late to giving you your question. Oh, come on, go back to me. Okay. You're about to admit your sins online. So if you don't want people to know your sins, make sure there's nobody in the room as you're commenting or nobody else is going to be watching this. What is the most amount of money you spent on yarn at one time? All right. So I guess I'll go first. I don't think I've ever spent more than 150 at one time. But when I did spend that much, it was because there's like a super sale going on. It wasn't because I bought 3 luxury skeins of yarn. Oh, the most I ever spent on a skein of yarn, just one skein, I think it was like 50 something dollars on a skein of yarn. Oh, do I have that here? I don't know where it is. It must be upstairs, hidden someplace in another yarn stash. That's the most I ever spent on yarn. That's when I went to New Orleans. They had this amazing, beautiful yarn shop with all these like hand spun yarns, and it was gorgeous. And I found this big one skein was 50 something dollars, and I'm like, I think I need 2 skeins, and I got 2 skeins of it, and I was like, ugh. but that's the most I spent on one skein, but in a whole sitting, about $150. All right, let me check out what everybody else admitting to their guilt. Ooh, Angela, $360. That's a lot of money. I should have asked, was this a luxury buy? That's what I'm going to ask too. And you can put an addendum to yours. Was this a luxury buy or did you get like a boatload of yarn? Okay, we're going to see who's the winner. Okay, just booted out of her first place spot, Angela. Meadow Lake 8 is beating you right now at 462 dobbies at Hobby Lobby last spring. Oh, that reminds me. I did spend a lot of money a couple years ago when Hobby Lobby had their like huge sale where you just run in with a buggy and get all this cheap yarn. So right now, Meadow is in the lead. Maybe $50. Good job. You just spent just a little bit of money. Okay, we got another heavy spender, Elena. I think I spent upwards of 200, 300 at the last Joann's big sale. Also, I easily drop 100, 200 on a nice yarn from a local yarn shop. Yeah, if I'm going to spend a big amount on fancy yarn, I'm not buying yarn from like a well-known business. It's going to be at a local place. I'd rather spend a lot of money on one skein and give it to somebody who I know has a business. Sasha, 100, just 101, not 102. So good job. 80, we have 100. Nobody's beaten Meadow yet. Meadow is wait. See, I have to be able to do the translation, not translation. What's it called when you turn money into the other? I forget. Somebody has to do that for me. I want to know how much this is. Okay. Chunky yarn, 100, not too bad. Okay, let's see. Who else? The most I spent on yarn, 80 bucks, not bad. I'm looking for a big amount. Who's had a big amount? Do you know what? Meadow, you win. Happiness is only spent $150. Oh, on one project. It's not, it's, yeah, that's a good bit of money. But, Meadow, you win. Cheers to you. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce your name. Projecta said last time I spent almost 3K. Did you say $3,000? Know what? You win. You win. Oh my goodness. Wait, Meadow, cheers too early. I think we got somebody above you. But no, cheers to both of you, you big old yarn spenders. All right, so I'm gonna hop back into this roundup. This is for the those yarn spenders. Have you ever lied about the yarn that you bought? This includes omissions. This includes you just buying yarn, not telling anybody, and just sticking it on your shelf and throwing away the receipt in the bag. Omissions count as lying. So before you comment, make sure you put question marks in front of it. So, have you ever lied or omitted about buying yarn? All right, let's hop back into this roundup. Where are we at? I lost my phone before I can read. This pattern is called the Eloth Granny Square. This design has a couple new opportunities for color changes with a ring around the central flower motif and a contrasting border color around each square. But of course, the star of the show is the three-dimensional flower in the middle. Let's take a couple closer look at these pictures. I don't know. I love the monochrome color. There's something about that that pops. I would actually probably use that as wall art, just that simple monochrome color, and make a patchwork of that and put it on my wall. But I am crochet tacky though, so I don't know if that's actually nice or not, but to me, it seems beautiful. All right, let's move on to the very next pattern. This is called the granny square with a flower. Simple name. Here's a crochet granny square that offers a touch of lace. This square would be a great option for a lightweight cardigan or a gauzy crochet shawl with plenty of drape. What would you use it for? The designer of this pattern is, oh, I can't pronounce her name, Galanica Gustafsson for Crochet Spot. Oh, I think I said her name right, but that is beautiful. Once again, I'm a big lover of this monochrome. Maybe because I don't know how to match my colors. I love single colors, but I think it's a beautiful pattern. Actually, everything I say, you'll hear me say, "Oh, this pattern is beautiful. It's amazing." I say it about all the patterns. It's because they are. They're beautiful. All right, so let's hop back over. The question was, have you ever lied about yarn shopping? This includes omissions. I'll go first. Yes, I've never directly lied. I am the queen of omission of crochet shopping. Luckily, I work from home. If I order yarn and yarn comes in the mail, I'm home to pick up the packages. So, I'll make sure I'll rip up the boxes, put them out, and whatever, and stick the new yarn back onto the shelf like I never bought yarn. I mean, nobody's ever said, Alicia, you need to, my friends have. I think my mother said it. Well, I guess people have, but nobody in this house have ever said, no more yarn for you. But I feel like I have so much, it's a little shameful. So I omit the yarn that I buy all the time. There we go. Lisa says, I just tell my husband that I'm making something for his mother. Not all the yarn is for that project, but he doesn't pay attention. Nice tip. I like that. One of my faves, Virgie. I have omitted. I was on a kick. I was on a kick ordering from Hobium and would have DHL leave the package on the back deck. I would come home and I sneak out back to get it when the coast was clear. Done that too, like, is anybody here? Because I'll be upstairs and the other bedrooms in the house are further that way. And I can hear if the UPS man or the mailman is coming and sits it on the porch. And if I don't see nobody run out for it, I'll tiptoe down the steps, open the door, and sneak the package back in the house and take it up to the bedroom so nobody sees it. Knit and Crochet Tiger says, Alicia, all these granny square flower patterns you're sharing are so beautiful. Thank you. And I would like to give most all of the credit to my assistant, Angela Adler. She writes all of these roundups for me. She gathers all of these patterns and writes my whole script for me. So thank you so much to her for being a partner on my team. Thank you so much. And there's a number. And I know I say, oh, my faves, my faves, my faves. You're my faves because I recognize you. You're coming back again. But Maria, she's a fave. So you got a double fave. Maria says, I would love to fib about my spending, but when you're married to an accountant, they've always seemed to find out. Yeah, that doesn't help. Let's see. Question. Leanne says, yes. Either snuck it into my room so my parents wouldn't notice, or made a huge speech about why I really, really needed this yarn. They don't understand why you really, really need this yarn. Don't be ashamed. Even if these people are shaming you for your yarn habits, they all have worse habits than what we have. I like to buy yarn. Yarn is not like an expensive purse. Yarn is not like expensive shoes. It's under $10, under $5, depending on what you buy and if you have a coupon. And you know what? I'm not just using it for yarn. I can make this as a hat. I can make this as a scarf. And if the world comes to the end and there's an apocalypse, you have me. I can make us stuff to wear to keep us through this winter. That's what I think. Yes, I hid it in the closet. I've had it there too. Deanne says, haven't had to, thankfully. Oh, you're lucky. Well, not lucky. I don't know. I guess that's good that you're not ashamed of your habits. Or last, expensive yarn winner. I know you have to have some type of hidden yarn stash somewhere. But Meadow says, oh yes, hidden under clothing in a closet, left the receipt in the bag and threw it away. I've also hidden under my desk. Guys, I hope none of your significant others or family members are in a house listening to this as I read your admission right here live in front of everybody. I'm going to try to say your name again. Prodigy. I think the white looks amazing. Those monochrome colors are just absolutely gorgeous. Well, I don't know, white. I just like a nice clean palette because I'm color incompetent and I'm just horrible with mixing colors. All right, so we're gonna hop back into this pattern roundup. I think we are on our last two, and I've ran out of questions. But if you have any projects that you're working on and you would like to show off, you can email them to me right now. My email address is in the description box below. It is littlejohnsyarn@gmail.com. And we'll show everybody what you're working on. And if you have any questions for me, like what's my favorite yarn, or I don't know, any random question, crochet business or whatever, ask me right now. Just make sure you put question marks in front of it and we'll bring it to the front. And hopefully I could hop into my email and some people show me what you're working on. All right, so let's hop back into this. And once again, I feel my nose getting stuffy and I'm having trouble talking. So please forgive my reading. Ah, I feel it, guys. I'm going to make it through it. Oh, that's not the one I want to show you. Let me show you this one. Oh, we only have one. I think I did one too many. No, I'm actually missing a pattern. We're going to skip down to this next one. This is called I am so off right now. Oh, I got the right one. Just Peachy Blossom. Pastel colors are perfect for a crochet baby project, spring crafts, and just because it's awesome. This just peachy blossom crochet pattern is on a larger side with 6 rounds of crochet. The designer of this project is Smooth Fox. All right, I guess we went through all 10 of these patterns and I didn't even realize. But I did want to show you one more thing. Actually, I'll do it after we go over our last question. So, guys, do you have any patterns that you'd like to show me? Do you have any questions for me? Make sure you put question marks in front of it. And of course, for the patterns, you'll have to email me, and my email address is below. But I wanted to mention a young lady that I mentioned last week. She started crocheting less than a month ago. I think she's on her 3rd week of crocheting. She's a 10-year-old girl named Lydia. And she sent me some more of her work, and I would love to, guys, show you little Lydia's work. She's been crocheting less than a month. Oh, let me take this down. I showed these patterns last week. This is one of her newest crocheting. She's venturing into amigurumi, her very first stuffed pig. 3 weeks crocheting. Okay, she's already turning into a little yarn junkie. Love it. And she made my little crochet slippers. Look at this girl. She is absolutely amazing. 10 years old. Her name is Lydia. Crocheting under a month. She's already made scarves, headbands, pigs, slippers. I don't know how fast she is working. I don't understand this. What is that one little boy who crochets? They call him a crochet prodigy. I think this little girl is a little crochet prodigy. 10. Okay. I just want to speak on her. I think each week, if she continue sending pictures out, I'll maybe have a little Lydia's latest. All right. So, oh, we have some emails. All right. Elena says, I just emailed you a project I just finished about a week ago. I love making and assembling it. All right, let me go into my email before I bring up the screen share. Do do do. All right, now I'm ready for the screen share. Let me hide current comment, screen share. Let's see what you've been working on. We're going through a couple. Let's see. Leanne. Ooh, the zoom, zoom, zoom. See, this is what I love about the granny squares. You know what? Sometimes you don't even have to figure out what to make. Just start making granny squares and figure it out later. Beautiful work. Love it. Thank you for sharing it with me. Let's see what else. Knit and crochet tiger. Ooh. Wait, knit and crochet tiger, are you a man? And have I been calling you a woman? I did not realize. Forgive me for assuming. Man. Okay, crochet junkie. I see all that yarn in the back. Amazing work. Nope, favorite right here. What else you got? What else you got? I'm all in your bag now. Let's see. I've been meaning to do a What stitch is this? I cannot remember the name. Knit and crochet tiger. Ah, but I don't know. I love this one. Thank you. Let's see what else is up in here. Anybody else sent another double fave? Knit and crochet tiger, you're moving up to double fave also. But unapologetically mocha, you're a double fave too. Let's see what you are working on. Ooh, is this a wrap? Mm. It's like a scarf shawl. I love this right here. This random like spacing, that's gorgeous. Let me go back to the very first one. Thank you so much for sharing that one. Okay, we got another one from Elena. Holy smokes. You can't see me right now, but I'm giving you a cheers behind the scenes. All right. People are doing amigurumi right now, taking a small pattern using super bulky yarn. This is amigurumi. Is this even considered? That's not even considered amigurumi. That's huge. And this is worsted weight yarn. That's like, is that a 5 millimeter crochet hook? You did your thing right there with the stitch. Literally, Lilo and Stitch, and with your stitch. Is that a double entendre or play on words? Wow, that is gorgeous. Thank you. That's just me. All right. Anybody else? Let me hop back into my mailbox. Nope. Oh man, guys, thank you so much for sharing your things with me. Leanne, amazing. Unapologetically Mocha, amazing. Knit and Crochet Tiger, everybody's man, man. Wait. Ohana means family. Stitch, yes. Oh, we have another one coming in, so we're not going to end this. And guys, if you have any questions for me, make sure you put question marks in front of it. Or if you have some of your work right now, I'm probably going to be on here for another extra 5, 10 minutes. And so we can show off your work, see what you got. And if you would like, you can also help support via Super Chat. And when you do, Super Chat is that little dollar sign in the comment box. When you donate, lights go off, bubbles blow, and you get to spin the wheel of patterns. Yeah, Unapologetically Mocha's wrap, that was gorgeous. That yarn was gorgeous. Thank you. Catherine's Will. Double fave. Yes, I'm a man. I don't mean to just assume, but when I look into my YouTube analytics, I only have like 3% men that watch my channel, so I just naturally assume. But forgive me, King. You are a man, a crochet king. Okay, let me check in my inbox one more time. Yes, let's share the screen. We got some more. Maria. Wait, this is the frog. Where's the frog? I don't there. Oh, there's the frog. Oh, that's like perfect decor. It reminds me, I love uh what's it like the fairy decor? I guess my you can call my room behind me that whole earthy things. I need a frog just sitting on my shelf behind me. This is gorgeous. Actually, it's just super cute. Hey, Fergie. Know what? I guess I'm elevating everybody to double faves. It's not everybody, but Fergie knows she's been here before. So you understand why you get the double fave. And this is absolutely gorgeous. Man, let's zoom in on this. I'm in love. I'm in love with the colors. I wish I could match like you. Oh, she got that beautiful, like roving S type of yarn. I would have never understood, even though it's just a black and a multicolored, variegated yarn. I couldn't have figured out how to do this. I mean, the crochet, but the color combinations, gorgeous. Oh, we got some more. Did I get this one? You do tapestry crochet. Man, I didn't know you was all skilled like that. Okay. Like a excuse me, I'm choking. A Graphgan. What is the picture? Wait, I'm trying to figure out what the picture is. Wait, did you tell me in the message? Thank you. Mosaic tapestry crochet cactus pouch. Okay, I see the cactuses. It is upside down, and here's the zippers. I see it. Everybody, turn your head upside down, your phone upside down, so you can see the cactuses better. Oh, you know I love the colors that I cannot combine myself. That's that roving yarn too, that beautiful. I just like the luster of it and the way the yarn, no matter what stitch you use with a roving yarn, it pops. It has this bubbly, not a bubble, but I can't explain the way the yarn looks. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's gorgeous. Go to next one. Look at the bell sleeve. You put in work. This is nice. Is this for you? I wouldn't give it away. This would be mine forever. Okay. Elena, okay. Proctoja, let's see what you got. Uh-oh, be quiet. Oh, I love this, love this. This one, is this your own pattern? If this is your own pattern, email me. I've never seen this one before. This should be on my list, and I think myself and everybody else would love to do this pattern right here. This is gorgeous. Please send us the link for this pattern so I can put it in the description box after this. Gorgeous. See, this is my type of style. I like that two-tone. I can figure out the colors for this. I need a wrap in my life, but I don't feel like making a wrap. I'm about to order from my fellow crocheters and get myself a nice, beautiful crochet wrap and let somebody else figure out the colors for me. Thank you so much for sharing your work. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, let me see if I have any questions. Oh, the Elena said the beautiful sweater that was kind of with the roving yarn with the bell sleeves, that was hers. Yes, I made that for me. It was Tunisian crochet and took me nearly a month to make that cardigan. Only a month? Only you used Tunisian crochet and you said nearly a month. With Tunisian crochet, those small stitches, that would take me like, oh, we got a nasty in here. Let me hide that person. Block user. Somebody's trying to do nasty stuff in here. Oh, okay. We have two more emails I see, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's share my screen. More time to show off our work. Maria, she did her own elf on the shelves. Those are so cute. Speaking of elves on the shelves, I just found mine in my yarn stash when I was looking for old yarn. I'll show you in a second. Donna, what you got, Donna? What you? Ooh, there's that Catherine's wheel. Beautiful work. It's gonna zoom in on them beautiful stitches. And I give you guys credit for making blankets because I'm a lazy blanket person. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I enjoyed chatting with you and having a sip. And remember, I'll be here next week at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll see you then. All right, guys. And anybody that won on the Wheel of Patterns, make sure you email me at littlejohnyarns@gmail.com. All right. Bye, guys.